Paul, for us, we don't work with the guys every day. We don't know what we're going to get. Is that pretty much what you expected?
Certainly the attitude, the determination, the work rate, that was what I was expecting and hoping for. 3 points was what I was hoping for. A clean sheet was what I was hoping for. Being totally greedy, I wanted more goals. And I think when you look at the way the game was, I think it's fair to say that we probably should have got more goals. The one thing I will say is the first game of the season is always very nervy, you're always a little bit edgy, and I'm just delighted we've got ourselves over the line, we've got 3 points and we move on.
I was going to say I didn't see the nervousness or edginess from the boys at all, probably helped by the early goal, but the discipline, the shape, helped by the fitness, it all came together.
Yeah, I've said this before, I think when you're fit it gives you that confidence, but I tend to watch the warm-up from sat up in the stand, and I was watching them and they did look a little bit nervous, and Gav said that it felt a bit nervy when they were warming up. And I get it, I totally understand it, I've been there myself, I know what it's like, you know, this is when it really matters in these games today, so I totally understand it. I thought we had a really good opportunity when Finn got in behind their down their left-hand side and put it across, and Edmo had a finish that the goalkeeper made a good save, and you think, oh, come on, just get the goal, let's settle everybody down, give the fans something to cling on to cheer, and then when we get the next one, it just gives us a bit of breathing space and gives us something there to make them try and come out a little bit. So all in all, I'm absolutely delighted to get off to a winning start, really pleased with the support we've had today as well, and now we just have to dust ourselves down and go again.
I know I keep banging on about the shape, I do apologise, but I will again. I mean, they look comfortable with it.
Yeah, they did, and we just had to have a little tweak. I've got this thing about you have a shape to play from, but you have to be prepared to tweak it and adjust again. And we did today. We changed it slightly and went with the two in midfield, and the Gibbo played a little bit higher, and then we had to change it back again. And they were the ones changing. They started with a back three, they changed to a back four at half time. They kept shuffling the midfield. So for me, I think you've just got to have players who are adaptable, and they've shown today that they are adaptable.
They're taking little risks within that. I'm sure at times we might get punished or nearly punished because of it, but they're looking to turn and spin and maybe do things that... Are you giving them licence to do that?
Yeah, I don't want them taking risks in our own defending third. I want to try and eliminate that as much as we possibly can. So it's a no-risk first policy, and then it's more about can we then play when we get a little bit higher up the pitch. So once they get into that final third, I always say that as a player or as a coach, I can't coach somebody how to beat a player around the edge of the box. That's within them themselves. You can't coach somebody who's a goal scorer to get into the right areas. You just have to keep doing repetition of exercises in training so they keep getting used to getting there, get in the habit of hitting the back of the net. What we have to do now is transfer that habit from training ground onto match days and get more and more goals from the chances we're creating.
Lost count of how many times since February you've said Chris Dennis is a goal scorer. Chris Dennis is a goal scorer.
Yeah, he is, and it was probably a really scruffy one, but I've just said there to him, the first one of the season is always really hard to get, and to get yourself up and running on the first game is brilliant for him. Delighted for him. I thought him and Edmo worked absolutely tirelessly today. They chased and they harried and they set the trap and went and pressed together. I mean, over the game, I've just had a look at all the chances. We had 19 that we class as 19 opportunities, which you class as chances. I didn't actually count how many were on target, but we've given ourselves a base to build from. We've just got to be more clinical, and then I think we'll get better and be more commanding in games.
Do you criticise at this stage for not taking those chances and making it more comfortable?
Not today. Maybe when we review next week, it'll be criticise. I think that's maybe a bit strong, but we'll certainly show them what they're doing, because I just think we have to be more clinical, and they know. I asked the question at the end of the game. I just said, what's the only thing missing, and they just said 5 goals, and that's the truth of it. We should have been more clinical. We should have stuck the ball in the back of the net. At the first half, I thought El Ribalcom made a couple of good saves. Second half, we probably should have done a little bit better and maybe been a bit luckier, but hey, listen, I can be really picky. I wanted 3 points today. We've got 3 points and we've started. That
defensive unit, I think we know you've said you want to add to it, but they're going to make it hard for whoever comes in to break into it.
Well, that's what we have to have all over the pitch. You just have to look at our group today that we need additions to it. Toby Show Silva tore his hamstring on Monday in training, literally the last thing that he did in the game, and he's got about a 14 centimetre tear in his hamstring, so he's probably out for 8 weeks. Brennan Dickinson got back into training this week, and on Thursday in training he's took a shot, and the lad who was closing him down has landed on him. He's opened his knee. He's had a scan today, so we're waiting for the results. We think there's damage there that could put him out for a while. Jamie Devitt is all signed and agreed, and he reported ill overnight on Thursday and was not fit enough to train today. I was desperately hoping, and I'm really sorry to Amari's partner, that desperately hoping she didn't start having the baby today, but I think she is getting close to starting. And fair play to Maz, he said, no, I want to come in and play. He's organised for his family to be there with his partner, so I'm hoping that he's going to have a really good weekend and get the baby born, so we'll see what happens on that one. But we were down to bare bones today, and we have to strengthen it, and we're trying to bring players in, and it's not easy. We've just got to keep working.
Might as well ask about Callum and how he looked annoyed when he came off. I'm hoping he's annoyed because you brought him off and not because he's hurt.
Well, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I didn't even ask. I just got told by Ross the physio that he had to come off. It's more a kick, I think. I saw him with ice on his calf, so I'm hoping it's a kick. But Callum's a bit of a warrior. He wants to get out there, so I'm quite sure by next weekend he'll be okay.
Not just the clean sheet, but the fact that Thomas hasn't really been tested against the likes of Telford and Nadson and the rest. Wow.
I thought their front three were very good. I thought they, without actually causing Thomas a lot of problems, I thought they had a lot of possession. I've watched them over pre-season, and obviously I know Kev Betsy and Dan Machici, they are trying to build a possession-based team, so we had to probably give up a little bit of possession, but not in areas where I was really worried. And I thought we had, especially first half, we had a plan to try and set a trap and go and press and squeeze on them. And we had a lot of chances because of that, 10 in the first half, because we won it back in high areas, and we just didn't have that quality. But I thought as a team, I thought we defended really well, and I thought we were really good on transitions, but not with the final pass, with the decision, the shot, the cross, the slide ball, wherever it was. That's where we need to keep improving.
But that wing-back thing that you've got going, Armour on the left and Finn on the right, both of them are really, really testing defences.
Oh yeah, they are. I think Jack Armour's been excellent for the last couple of games that he's played. He's really starting to show that he can open his legs and get past people and get back and defend as well, which is part of the wing-back. They should be running further than anybody else on the pitch, and Jack's showing me that he can do it, which is brilliant. I'd still like him to get in at the far post more. I thought if he'd have got in a little bit higher and narrower, he'd have probably had a side foot finish from about 6 yards out. So I'm questioning, is he going to score us goals? I want him to score goals. I want Finn to score goals. We can't rely on Deno and Edmo and Amari and young Nick Ballardo and Tobes when he's fit. We can't just rely on them. We need goals all through the team. We should have scored from a set play today. Morgan should have scored. John Mellis should have scored. Ryan Edmondson should have had a better contact when he's back-heeled it. All of those things, I'm being really, really picky, but we have to demand better if we want to be further up the table.
First game for Finn in front of a big crowd like that for us. Wow, what have you unearthed there?
Oh no, he's a talented boy. He's got a real calm head on his shoulders. Really pleased with him so far. He's got a great attitude to work, great attitude to football. He understands what it's like to be in a professional sport environment, so hopefully he'll get even better.
Great to see the fans in those numbers.
Brilliant, yeah. I mean, we've got to keep them in. I said we have to put on a performance, we have to show a bit of desire and get them running, get players running around and making tackles and doing all that to keep fans coming. It's the first. Now we need to make sure we do it right in our 2 away games we've got coming up, and hope that we've given them enough to cling on for the next home game.
Just going to ask about that game on Tuesday, Paul. How do you approach that? Do you leave that for the youth team predominantly, or do you mix some of our boys in?
Well, it's a difficult one because Livingston in Largs, I was thinking I'm really happy with the group we've got, and thinking we've got players who are going to need the game. We're now going to have to wrap them up in cotton wool. I think some will play. Some of those lads will play because I think they need to stay on top of their game. So it's one, I considered it yesterday, and I've sort of got a skeleton squad up on the board in my office looking at it, but that may change. I'll just have to see how everybody is on Monday morning.
I know you'll be 99% focused on Colchester, but will you have half an eye on the Lionesses tomorrow?
Oh, I'll have two eyes on the Lionesses. I'm hoping that they can carry on the way they've been. They've been absolutely magnificent. It's really the big strapline for the FA was unite the game, unite the nation, and I think the Lionesses have certainly united the nation.
Last one from me, Paul. The season starts here. It's a great way to start, isn't it, with a home win?
If I was going to say it's the only way. Start with a win at home. Give your fans something to shout about. Give the players something to cling to. Brilliant start. Now let's keep going.